All right. Okay. So I just finished watching this video on the screen. It was published by Free Thinker Server. I've been his. I've been watching his video for quite some time, for years now. He's a free thinker. Um, kind of, and also enjoy his video and um, not like I agree with everything he say, but it's kind of person I am. I think freely. I don't think with the mob or the majority. So the video is about just like on the title of the video, it's about conversation he had with his grandfather on democracy. Is to sort his opinion on that, and it was quite interesting. So the video reminded me the things I used to enjoy back then, which actually led to, or contributed to who I am today. Back then, I was in the university then, more like before I even entered. I was from like 90, I think around 1998 to 2004 or thereabout. You know, then I was living in Oka. You know, um, that was with my siblings, my parents. So Oka is in Anambra State. So it was a secondary school, St. John of God Secondary School, Oka, and so it was we were living in the staff quarters. You know. So what I was doing then was every evening around 7 p.m. or so. So I would go and hang out with the security men, about three or four of them at that time, and they were very elderly, even older than my father. So they were more like at that time, the kind of conversation we were having was more like, when you sit down with your grandfather, that's the kind of talk we were having that time. They were sharing their experiences they've had in life, both the their regrets and things they are proud of, you know. So from there, I gathered a lot about life. I was also sharing the opinions and, about the little one I had, experience I had, or what I thought life was about. And they also give me their own opinion about my opinion with their experiences. Some of the things I was telling them, they will not tell me in practically in life. It's not that always that thing. You were taught from school that is that what it is. So that's the kind of discussion this was about. It was a more a logical question, more manly. So I actually enjoyed it. It's not like I don't have that kind of discussion anymore. I have a friend that every once in a while we'll go out. In fact, almost like every time he comes, that's what we do. We hang out, or even when you visit me at home, for hours. I'm talking about 3 or 4 hours. That's what we do. We have this kind of discussion. It's very deep one. We don't even talk about cars, even though I'm a car freak. We don't at all. So no, but I also this video reminded me of what I used to miss, talking to people who actually have gone through life, have so many experiences, and they are now telling you that when you add everything together, whether it was worth it doing what everybody has expected to do, living their lives according to the guideline from other people. Was it really worth it when their life is now about to end? Was it really worth it? Were they able to live to the full life satisfaction? Mostly their regrets. Talking about if they could go back, they could have done this, they could have done the other, rather than doing this or doing that to please the world. Anyway, so this discussion he had with his grandfather was an interesting one because both of them have different opinions on democracy. And I'm not going to go into most of the things they talk about, because even some of the things they did talk about were not even the real reason why I'm anti-democracy. Yes, I'm not pro-democracy, I'm anti. Democracy to me is a very bad thing for society. You could say, yes, there are very positive things about democracy, because every subject has positive and negative. So there are a lot of good things about democracy, which I'm also enjoying. However, sometimes when I weigh the negative side of it, I'm like, I can, the negative outweighs the positive. So I can never support democracy at all. Never. Democracy, one bad thing about it is it creates um, non-individualism. Yes, it creates non-individualism, more like people who see themselves collectively as, uh, you know, that like you don't matter, but all of us matters. So something like that. So you are not an individual as long as you are in this group. So it makes it more like an entitled society, entitled people in that society. That's what it does. It creates people who have, or it creates majority of, or it creates entitled majority. You see people even discussing with them, you just keep wondering, when did this go bad? That men these days, feel so entitled even more than women. You just don't even understand. It just equates to racist society. Back then, um, there was a time I talked about in this video about the kind of democracy we had in the Igbo tribe before the colonialism, and they actually brought it up in this video, where the publisher of the video called it limited democracy, which was what the founders of the United States of America wanted, or started this, the and which we call patriarchy, So that was what similar to we were doing back then in the Igbo tribe. Where people, where only the few will be the decision makers, not just because you're a man, you get to decide what's going to happen in the society, or the rules. No. Yes, every man is the head of every family, of the compound, but then still, there was a kind of ruling council, if you call it that use that word, we had an assembly of men, but still, they are selected who people who eventually come together. And how do you belong those men? You have to work for it, You don't just because you have a penis, you assume, you are entitled to it. No. You probably have to be a warrior. You probably have to be among the ones that go for war, protect the society or the community, probably have to be one of the ones who are hardworking. You go into farm, because that time lands are massive. You can, whichever you want, how many plus or hectares you want. So it's over you to go and cultivate, farm, and so it depends on how hardworking you are, how industrious you are. You cultivate, build more yam, barn, or stuff like that. You become. It's not necessarily it makes you wealthy, but what I'm saying is, because the more you do, the more responsibility you have. So all these things makes you a responsible person in the society, where you can now get to decide, how the society is run. Not somebody who has never seen a machete or protect anything or do anything in the interest of this or the benefit of society. We just come up one day to decide, you know. because he has a penis, like I said, or because he exists, you know. However, it doesn't mean other people will make your life miserable because of that. But when it comes to what to protect everyone, to protect the resources, a person with more responsibility is in a better position to do that. Because, like I said, communism, which democracy leads to or create is actually um, anti-capitalism. Democracy is anti-capitalism, even though it functions capitalism functions in democracy. But we look at it rather that majority in a democratic system wants socialism because democracy has already created or makes them entitled, believing that no, as long as there's a government, they are the one that's supposed to be responsible for everything about their life. Because as long as he has the power to do it, that's the problem. Unlike the capitalist man who he wants this thing, he go out and make it happen. But him, no, he can't. He wants this thing, but probably he believes he cannot get it. So because of that, he looks at people that get it and then use his vote, use his power to take that thing away from those people. To the point that even if it doesn't get to him, at least let no man have that thing. So that's democracy for you. It creates because everybody is now voting. People who don't even work for it, who don't even. Please, I've never voted in my life as far as democracy is concerned. I've never ever voted for anybody. However, it means nothing to me. It doesn't affect me. So it doesn't mean because, if you don't vote, something bad is going to happen to you. Why didn't it happen to me? So don't expect because I'm a man, you must vote. Or because an adult, you must vote. Let people who are interested, who actually have, or probably depending on the criteria people want to vote, the higher, the more responsibility, the more, I don't know how to put it. Somebody who is working for his being, for his well-being, has more responsibility to take care, to protect things rather than somebody who is just being lazy. So it's when he's going to come to decision making with his vote, he knows what to vote for, to protect that his income, to protect that his his interest. If his interest is even to build wealth, building that wealth means it's going to create more work. One good thing about capitalism is, yes, you might say the power, the wealth is in the hands of the few. But remember that, yes, that wealth was actually more like their goal. This is what these people wanted. So some people are now coming as an employee to help in building their wealth or their purpose or their preference in life. However, as you are doing that, they are also giving you some money to also go and continue pushing you to start pushing your own goals. Rather than we are a communal system, we are, everybody have zero interest, zero goals, nothing. You just have no motivation, no inspiration to do anything or, to be an individual. So you look at the democratic system now, that's what everything is gearing for. As far as Western democracy is concerned, which unfortunately the third world countries have copied. That's where everything is pushing to. But why I'm not so bothered is, society always resets itself. It may not be in my time. Eventually it's going to reset itself and it go back because men messed up at some point. I always tell people, if you're a man and you actually don't see how messed up, the Western democratic system has turned, the world or the communities or countries that practice it, how the mess it has created. If you really don't see that, then you are, they really did a good number on you. That's the only way I'll put it. You know. So I don't know. The democracy creates a lot of dependence. That's why I call it. It doesn't create um, individuals or independent men. No, it creates a dependent majority of dependent adults. That's what it creates. So that's what we now have. I mean, why would everybody vote because you have a penis or you're an adult? Um, very unfortunate. Anyway, this video is quite interesting. I don't want to talk so much on this because it's more like trying to add more to the video. So I will encourage you to go and listen to it. You can subscribe to his video as well. I enjoy some of his videos, why he talks and some things that he says. I say, okay, no, I don't agree on that. Or why some, I do agree with. All right, so I hope this makes sense, and if it does, I just want to encourage every man. I mean, start thinking independently, start questioning things. Don't being a drone, just being a chip. You just stay there. You don't even have a mind of your own. Everything you say is about quoting other people. It's very bad. You see, most times when you see some men talking, you keep wondering what's even the difference between this and the feminine or a woman. Just watch what you say, watch what you think. Does it reflect masculine or manly things in any way? If it's everything is feminine, how to, come on. Then why? I don't know. It's very unfortunate. I mean, the funny thing is, eventually, it's very few men like us that the majority will always end up worshiping when we are far gone. Sometimes not even far gone. When you look at the history, even for starting with the Bible, the Jesus of Nazareth, the apostles, the prophets, these are the same thing that I'm talking about, other people are talking about, a few men are talking about. Eventually, there are these men. I mean, very few of us. Albert Einstein, what's that his name? Leonardo da Vinci. So many of us, we saw these things and then we put that, and once in a while we say it in a different ways. Even though that some people turned it to religion, after those men have gone, started worshiping all those things. It's always end up like that. So, but you don't have to. I don't ask anybody to worship me, because eventually you realize it. Maybe you will not, but your children will, or your children's children. Because that's how it usually goes. You may be doing and hating that person, do those things. Your kids that you are brooding or producing will eventually start worshiping that man you hate because he's saying something against the norm that you don't like. Because if you just once in a while quiet your mind and start asking your question, how does this even make sense? Just because they told you from birth this is how, you can't just even question it and sit down and wonder who even get to decide this thing. Who gets to decide moral? Is it because somebody said it, this is what is moral, this is what is bad? Next thing, it's because God said that. Who said God said that? I don't even know. Sometimes I'm like, even though the brainwash exists, but you get the point. Come on, wake the hell up. Stop telling me they brainwash you. But sometimes as an adult, your mind is still there. Use it. Not saying don't believe in your religion, believe in everything, but sometimes start to look at things critically and start wondering how can somebody, even the person that said that something nobody even knows is telling you because he said that, everybody just follow like a sheep, like zombies. Nobody will ever look at the thing critically to even understand why this person said that. Was it just to benefit him at that time that he made that rule? And everybody keep following the same thing without even thinking for a second, how does this even make any sense? But hey, You can't say that because you are supposed to be a zombie. If you question it, if you pull out of the zombie crowd, then something is wrong with you. Anyway, yes, I'm an anti-democracy and I will never support it. When you talk about limited democracy, okay, it makes sense, but what we have now is a mess. So that's all for this video.